Good morning, everybody. Or I guess it's noon, so good afternoon. Welcome to our first ever virtual AgVentura. We're so excited that you're here to join us. This is actually our 33rd annual Ag in the Classroom conference, and we're pleased to have you joining us. I know your schedule's really busy, and probably some of you might be doing double duty and teaching while you're listening to the conference, but we're glad you're here. My name is Judy Culbertson. I am Executive Director for Ag in the Classroom, and I'm also a 5th generation pear grower and a recently new wine grape grower. So on behalf of agriculture, welcome aboard. We're so happy to have you here. As I said, we had great participation, and I think we had, when we went live, 439 registrants, which is really fantastic. That's like double what we have when we've had our conference in person. 64% of you are first-time participants. I used to call the rest of you oldies, but that didn't ever go over well, so we call you the seasoned folks. And we've always enjoyed the fact that with having a mixture of folks who have participated in our conference before and then not participated as a really good mix. There's always a lot of fresh new ideas, but there's also a lot of wisdom from teachers who have used agriculture in the past. So as we proceed through the next 2 days of conference agenda, I encourage you to share any advice you have or any questions you might have for others in the chat box. And we'll go through some rules in a few minutes, but we're excited to have you all here. I think we have 47 counties represented, which is great because we need people teaching about agriculture in all parts of the state. Let's see. First, I want to kind of talk a little bit about Ag in the Classroom. So for those of you, since there are so many new attendees, the California Foundation for Agriculture in the Classroom was established in 1986. It started out as a program of the Farm Bureau and then went independent into our nonprofit 501c3. And our goal is really to help teachers and students gain an appreciation for agriculture. As we've all become so much more urbanized, it's really important that we remember how important fresh local food is to our lives, as well as so many other commodities that are a part of the ag industry. And we hope that really everybody has an appreciation and that these students will grow up with more knowledge than they would have had if they hadn't had Ag in the Classroom being shared by their teachers. And there's so many lifelong lessons, both in regard to healthy eating, nutrition, our economics of our state. There's so much to agriculture in this state. We've all come to, I think, take it for granted, and it's just an important subject, and it's a fun subject that can be included in your classrooms. So no matter what subject you're teaching, English, math, science, nutrition, art even, you can weave agriculture in the subject. We try to make it easy for you teachers by developing new resources all the time in different subject areas. Our resources are developed with teachers and reviewed by teachers. They are aligned to the state standards. They are free, they are fun, and they're real life interesting lessons. So we hope that through the next 2 days, you're going to be able to gain an appreciation for what we have to offer, and you'll be visiting our website and giving us a call and including Ag in your classroom. So today, with all of you being in your homes or your classrooms, and we're here at this end, I wanted to take a minute to review the registration bag that hopefully you received. Our first 300 registrants should have received a nice registration bag. We're kind of known for that when we're in live participation, but we sent out this registration bag. If you happen to not be in the first 300, because we had no idea really how many to expect would participate, we have a link to all of the resources that are included in the bag that you can download and make sure that you take a look at. So just a few of the items. We have wonderful sponsors and in-kind folks that provide us with goodies for you all. We have our avocado scoop, which along with the bag came from the California Avocado Commission. And we've got a pin about California grown and a coaster. And the Ventura Visitors and Convention Center has provided us with stickers, provided you with stickers. As usual with Ag in the Classroom, we eat. So we have included all kinds of snacks for you to participate, to enjoy. And along with those snacks came samples of our fact sheets that we provide so that you know a little bit more information about the snacks that you're consuming. You should have all received this brochure that was mailed independently this past week. If you don't have it, if it didn't come in the mail, this provides our full agenda for the next 2 days. It is also online at learnaboutag.org/conference. One of the first resources in your bag includes our pamphlet that just says, why is it important to teach about agriculture? How should you do it? When can you do it? It gives you some good ag statistics, and then it kind of gives you directions for how to get started with Ag in the Classroom, then move on to the next level and the next level so that you can really bring your classrooms to life. We have a wonderful poster that we developed with the California Farmland Trust. Orange, you're glad we have farmland, which explores how much land is available for feeding the world. Hope you enjoy that piece. We have a sheet, we have a book, our Imagine This Story Writing Contest is a book that is written by students for students. You should have received one of those. We have a flyer on the writing contest. The deadline is November 1st, so I encourage you all to have your students in grades 3 through 8 enter their stories. And then we have an additional flyer called Great Reads, and this kind of pulls out books about agriculture for elementary, middle, and high school students. So a wealth of information. At the conclusion of our conference, we're going to be discussing our Literacy for Life grants. And those are $500 grants. The deadline is next week, October 1. So it's an easy, simple application. We encourage you to fill it out and expand your agriculture in your classroom and do something creatively new or expand what you've got going already. The next resource, and I'm almost done, are our PPP, from start to finish, producing, preparing, and preserving. So we provide a student guide and we have a teacher guide, and we have the 3 bell pepper, green beans, and herbs that are all focused on in this lesson. These are available for you to order online. And there's a sheet that tells you how to order your resources online. So everything that I'm showing you, everything that we have online, which is hundreds of resources, are free. And you just place an order. The directions are on this sheet. Here is the sheet of what's available to order right now. And we encourage you to stock up on your materials and learn more about ag. The last item that's in your bag was a classroom set of What's Growing On. And this is our annual newspaper. This was Props to Specialty Crops. We provide classroom sets free to any teachers in the state. And this year, well, we're just about to write the next one, which is a focus on byproducts of agriculture, which is going to be very exciting. But this year we had the pleasure of developing also a smaller version in Spanish. So if you have any interest in a Spanish version of what's going on or comparing the two versions in your classroom, please go ahead and order these, everything free. And the other exciting part in your bag was your ingredient list for our live cooking demo that's going to happen tonight at Mulvaney's here in Sacramento. And we were thrilled to have Pacific Coast producers provide us with our diced tomatoes and Rayleigh's with our olive oil so that you have kind of the basics of the recipe. It's going to be a fun time. That's at 5:45 this evening. So I think we're good to go. So once again, if you did not get all those goodies, you can order all of them online. And so now I'd like to just kind of take a minute. Let me see, how's my time going? Just a minute more, and let you know what we're going to be doing and how this is all going to be working. I'm sure you've all had the pleasure of lots of Zoom calls. We all should be experts by this time. But this morning we're pleased to have both local and statewide ag leaders welcoming you for a few minutes to kick off the program. And then we're going immediately to our first field trip, Howling's Tomato Facility down in Ventura. We're excited to see their operation live. As we keep moving from field trips to workshops and beyond, we've allowed for breaks between sessions of about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how our timing goes. We'll start promptly at the time that we list, but you'll have a few minutes to look up for your next link. You'll notice that each session has a different link, and that is if we lose you or you lose us, don't worry, we'll catch up with you in the next session. So fingers crossed that everything's going to work well and smooth. I'm sure it is. If you have any questions throughout the conference, like I mentioned, or suggestions, please write them into the chat box and we will be monitoring them. Some presenters will be taking questions as we go and some will be at the end of their presentation. At the end of each. So this is usually live with a couple hundred people and we have a lot of fun and a lot of interaction. So here I am sitting in a room by myself, well, with my tech person, Anna, and Haley helping make sure we have everything. It's not near as much fun as being live with you, but we're still going to do our door prizes, which is a tradition of Ag in the Classroom. So at the end of each session, we'll be drawing names and you can hope to win a door prize and get those in the mail next week. So right now, I'd like to give a real shout out to our generous contributors who helped sponsor this conference. Of course, everything changed when we went from having our scheduled conference in Ventura to now our virtual conference, but we still needed funding. And so a big shout out goes to University of California at Agriculture and Natural Resources, and especially the Hansen Trust Fund, which is based out of Ventura County and is and has been very, very generous in making this conference happen. So touche to them, as well as we have all of our sponsors, last slide, listed on the back of our program. And so please take a look at our sponsors, and we appreciate all that they're doing, as well as our in-kind sponsors who have provided snacks and like all the different great goodies that we had in the red bags. Let's see, also listed on the very back there, and this is really a great benefit to all of you, are our exhibitors. And our exhibitors usually are in person with us and bring booths so that you can see what they have to offer. This year, though, we have their website for you to visit. We pride ourselves in making all kinds of resources available to you. However, we can't do it by ourselves, and it's because of all of this network of different teachers supporting ag organizations that we're able to provide you with so much information. So we encourage you to visit the exhibitors and link on their sites and see what they have to offer. And with that, I am really excited now to introduce you to our first speaker, who is the Secretary of the California Department of Food and Agriculture, Karen Ross. Secretary Ross has always been a strong advocate for ag in the classroom from the very beginning. She served as a leader in several different organizations here in California, and then went on to be the chief of staff at USDA. Very impressive. And then in 2011, she was appointed to be the California Secretary of Agriculture, and we're thrilled that she's on our team, and always happy and available to show appreciation to all of you teachers who are taking time to teach their students about a really important subject.
So with that, much for Secretary letting me crash your party
thanks for joining
while.
us today.
I wish I could stay for the whole thing. I love Ag in the Classroom and all that it has done over the years to connect us with teachers, and teachers are my heroes. Farmers are my heroes too, but so are teachers. Thank you for what you're doing, and doing it under extenuating circumstances. And to those of you who are parents who are checking this out, thank you for what you do. I think one of the best things about Ag in the Classroom is the materials that it has available that almost seem ready-made for having students at home, and trying to give them some experiential ways of enjoying learning about agriculture with all their other classes. There are so many great resources from Ag in the Classroom, and I'm so proud of the work that they do. You know, it's important to teach our young people about agriculture and how it is so connected to their lives. We don't always think about the food I eat, or the flowers I grow, or the clothes I wear, or even how our automobiles are fueled, that all comes from farms and ranchers. And California does it better than any other state. We're the #1 ag producing state, over $50 billion in goods and services that come from the farm gate. And when you add the value to that as it goes through the processing channels and the marketing channels, we contribute over $260 billion a year to California's economy. And we do touch the lives of every person who has that opportunity to be at the table to share food. And we are about, in California, growing really good, healthy food so that our students, our young people, can achieve their potential because of the good nourishment that's available right from their own backyard. We're the #1 dairy producing state. We grow 1/3 of the country's fruits, 2/3 of our tree nuts and our vegetables. Cattle and calves are the 5th largest valuable commodity that we have. And of course, then there's floriculture and horticulture that's also in the top 10. In Ventura County, which I wish we could all go out and see because it's such a beautiful county. I love it when I'm driving to meetings from the Burbank airport and I go over that hill and there's these beautiful fields, the berries and the vegetables, the avocados and the citrus. It's a very special place, and I know that my colleague and good friend John Crest from the Farm Bureau is going to tell you all about that. One of the other things that I want you to know is that in the wintertime, 90% of the country's vegetables are coming from our Imperial County and our neighbors in Arizona and Yuma. So what we do is important, and how we do it is also important. We grow to highest labor and environmental standards, and we grow it in communities up and down the state of California. I think that one of the best outcomes that can happen from learning about agriculture and tying it to what's relevant, whether it be science or math or English or art, is that we can open up career pathways for our young students. You know, the agriculture that we practice today is not like the agriculture that my dad practiced when I was growing up. And it is dramatically changing for the kind of practices that we'll have in the future because of science and technology and automation and artificial intelligence, which sometimes I don't sound like I have any, but our students already know how to do this. And every farmer is closer and closer to being able to operate their irrigation system with this. That improves their nutrient management and the precision with this. They're able to use drones and then capture that to say, is the field ripening all at about the same time, so we know exactly the right time to harvest. And you want to know something? This might take some people out of the field, but it's going to take a lot of people to do the coding and the programming and the maintenance of the drones and the robots and all the other things. So I'm hopeful that as you go about the work that you go about, introducing students to agriculture and what's happening in our farms and our fields, our orchards, and our pastures, that you also are able to introduce students to one of the most profoundly important and satisfying careers that there possibly is. And that is about growing our food and really the abundance of how we farm in harmony with Mother Nature to take care of our natural resources so that we can feed our 40 million neighbors in California, the 300 million consumers across the United States of America, and an increasingly global population that's rapidly growing to 10 billion. It's a big responsibility. We take it very seriously, but Judy's right. When you can get together with people, we'll never take people out of the equation of agriculture. I like to tell people Zoom meetings and Zoom conferences were probably going to be a lasting effect of COVID, but guess what? So far, we haven't figured a way to do by Zoom milking a cow or planting a seed or harvesting a crop. The importance of our people has also become even more profound during COVID as we've learned about the circumstances of our farm workers, that our farmers, our farm workers are going to work every day, even when we're in quarantine. They do strenuous work outside in all kinds of weather, including this year when we had heat waves and when we've had wildfire and the smoke issues that we've had. We've gotten the protective equipment to them. We've provided housing if they have come in positive so that they can isolate. We are a community that cares and we take care of one another, just as you as teachers and parents care for your students, your families, and your communities. So thank you, Judy, for letting me have a few minutes on your agenda. Good luck to everyone. And while Barry and I talked about going out for dinner tonight, I think we're going to be doing the live cooking demonstration with Patrick and Bob and Mulvaney. This is so cool. Thank you, everyone, and please stay safe. Good luck in this school year. Please know how deeply we appreciate what you do for our students and our communities every day. Thank you. And to Judy, keep up the good work.
Thank you. Yeah, there's your applause, Karen. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. You're inspiring, and I have heard you many times.
We won't say how many times, will we?
We won't say.
Judy and I go way back.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
We'll see you at Mulvaney's. All right, great. Okay. Now, I think next on our list, we are pleased to have a message from the CEO of the Farm Bureau of the Ventura County. And so with that, I want to welcome John Crest. Thanks, John.
Hello, I'm John Crest, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Farm Bureau of Ventura County. On behalf of our members here, I'd like to welcome all of you so much to this year's Ag Classroom Conference. Unfortunately, you're not here. We're looking forward to welcoming you back here, hopefully next year in person. But for now, we're going to have to get by with a virtual version, and the planning team for this year's conference has done a great job trying to give you a flavor of agriculture in Ventura County and what makes it special. So I want to talk a little bit about that, just give you a little introduction. You know, what does make Ventura County agriculture special? Well, it's continuous, for one thing. There's no dormant season here by the coast. You know, I'm recording this in the middle of an avocado orchard. The hillside's high above the city of Ventura. I can see the ocean from here. We have wonderful year-round climate, and people are planting, picking, and packing stuff every day of the year. So it's a very dynamic, vibrant industry. It's super valuable. So we do more than $2 billion worth of production a year on just 93,000 acres. That's a tiny fraction of the acreage in the bigger agricultural counties, such as Monterey and certainly those in the Central Valley. Nevertheless, we're in the top 10 agricultural counties in the nation every year. And one of those reasons for that is that what we grow is fruits and vegetables for the fresh market, very high value stuff. So it's valuable. It's also really diverse. We grow more than 100 different crops commercially, everything from avocados to zucchini. very heavily in the berry and fruit and vegetable production. It's also really small. So the average farm size in Ventura County is 122 acres. That's about a third the statewide average and about a quarter of the national average. The median farm size in Ventura County is 11 acres. In the Midwest, that's a backyard, not a farm. And again, we can grow on very small operations because of the very high value of the products that we grow. Altogether, nearly 80% of the farms, the individual farming operations in Ventura County are less than 50 acres in size. We're still the world of small-scale family farms, but it's a powerhouse, and they're small but mighty. And the other thing is, in Ventura County, agriculture is everywhere. We have a very unusual, let me rotate here, and you can see housing tracts out there. Basically in Ventura County, the northern half of the county is entirely within Los Padres National Forest. The southern half of the county is roughly divided 50-50 between farms and cities and suburbs. So basically for every acre of celery out here, every acre of tomatoes, we've got an acre of housing development and commercial malls. So again, we look forward to welcoming you in person so you can savor the bounty of Ventura County's fields and orchards. Our top crops are strawberries, avocados, lemons, raspberries. We're the #1 producing county in raspberries and lemons in the entire country. Celery, tomatoes, peppers, all kinds of really great stuff. So again, we look forward very much to being able to welcome you in person to Ventura County next year. And meanwhile, enjoy the conference. Thank you.
Well, there we go. Thank you, John, for welcoming us, and we look forward to being on site in Ventura next year.